The room was full of sharp uniforms and sharper words. When the female SEAL Admiral smirked and mocked the single dad's call sign, a few people laughed nervously. But no one expected what would happen next. Because the moment she said the name Iron Ghost out loud, her face changed, and the entire room went silent. Some names are just words. Others carry a history so heavy, it can stop even the strongest person in their tracks. Before the story begins, take a second to support the channel. If stories about kindness, courage, and quiet strength move you, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is Kindness World, and your support helps these stories reach hearts that need them. The single dad stood near the back of the briefing hall, holding a paper cup of cold coffee. His uniform fit neatly, but it was clear he wasn't trying to stand out. His name was Daniel Reed. He was early 40s, tired eyes, calm posture. The kind of man who listened more than he spoke. Most people in the room barely noticed him. Daniel wasn't there to impress anyone. He was there because he'd been invited to speak on leadership and resilience to a group of elite officers. Still, whispers moved around the room when someone mentioned his old call sign, Iron Ghost. One officer chuckled. Sounds like something out of a comic book. Then the Admiral heard it. She was respected, feared, and known for her sharp tongue. A legend in her own right. She glanced at Daniel and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, Iron Ghost? That's your call sign? I've heard better names in video games. A few laughs broke out. Daniel didn't react. He simply nodded, as if he'd heard worse before. What no one knew was that Daniel had learned long ago not to measure his worth by other people's laughter. He was a single father raising an 8-year-old daughter named Lily. Every morning, he braided her hair before school. Every night, he helped her with homework, even when his own body ached from old injuries he never talked about. Years earlier, Daniel had been part of a classified rescue unit. Quiet missions. No headlines. No medals displayed on walls. On one mission overseas, his team had been ambushed. Communication was lost. Extraction failed. One by one, his teammates were injured or trapped. Daniel stayed. He moved through smoke and fire like something unreal. Dragging men twice his size to safety. Holding positions alone. Refusing to disappear, even when ordered to retreat. Enemy forces later reported they couldn't track him. He appeared, struck, vanished. That night, someone whispered over a broken radio, he's like a ghost, made of iron. The name stuck. Iron Ghost, but Daniel never bragged about it. In fact, he avoided talking about his past altogether. After leaving active duty, he took a quiet logistics job. Then his wife passed away suddenly, and the world shrank to school lunches, bedtime stories, and holding it together for one small girl who depended on him. Back in the briefing hall, the Admiral crossed her arms, still amused. So, Mr. Iron Ghost, she said, tell us what makes you qualified to speak to this room. Daniel looked up slowly. His voice was steady, almost gentle. Ma'am, I'm not here because of what I did in the past. I'm here because of what kindness taught me. That caught her off guard. He went on. On my worst day, when I was bleeding and surrounded, it wasn't strength that kept me moving. It was remembering the people beside me. Caring more about them than myself. The room grew quieter. Daniel shared a story about carrying a wounded teammate for miles, even though he could barely walk. He talked about a moment when fear almost won, until he heard someone whisper, "Don't leave me." And he didn't. The Admiral's expression changed. She stared at him, searching her memory, then she froze. Years ago, during a joint operation briefing, she had reviewed a classified after-action report. One operative had been credited with saving an entire unit under impossible conditions. The name had been redacted. But the call sign was burned into her mind, Iron Ghost. Her throat tightened. The room felt suddenly smaller. You're him, she said quietly. Daniel didn't confirm it. He didn't deny it either. He simply said, a lot of people helped me survive. I just returned the favor. The Admiral took a slow breath. Pride drained from her posture. She stepped forward, her voice no longer sharp. I owe you an apology, she said. Not just for the joke, but for forgetting what that name means. Everyone watched as she extended her hand. Daniel hesitated for half a second, then shook it. Later, during a break, the Admiral found him alone, looking at a photo on his phone. It was a little girl missing a front tooth, smiling wide. My daughter, Daniel said. She thinks I work in an office. The Admiral nodded. You raised her alone? Yes, ma'am. She looked at him with something close to awe. You know, she said softly, for all the strength in this building, kindness like yours is the rarest thing here. Daniel smiled, just a little. Kindness kept me human when everything else tried to take that away. That day, no one laughed at the name Iron Ghost again. But more importantly, people listened. Not to his record. Not to his reputation. But to his message. Strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it shows up quietly, makes breakfast, keeps promises, and chooses compassion when it would be easier to harden. As Daniel walked out, he wasn't thinking about respect or redemption. He was thinking about picking up Lily from school, about asking her how her day went, about being present, and that's where real heroism lived. If this story reminds us of anything, it's this: kindness has a power no rank or title can command. You never know the battles someone has fought, or the weight behind their silence. Choose empathy. Choose respect. And when you can, choose kindness, because it might just change a life, including your own.